Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today is apparently the day when it comes to Call of Duty news and leaks and tons of stuff going on. So there's a bunch of videos to be made. The first one here is going to be of the new zombie changes that Treyarch have announced for Black Ops 6. Liberty Falls was met with a lot of criticism, and as such they have gone through and they've given us these two new images right here to kind of show what they've been doing in terms of changing the overall theme and feel of the map. As you guys can see, it's still pretty much Liberty Falls, but has a bit of a darker tone to it, and of course they do claim that not everything was ready back during Call of Duty Next, and there's different atmospheric elements to the map that were not available at Call of Duty Next that will be there at launch. We're gonna have to wait and see. The changes are not crazy or mind-blowing. They basically turn the lights down a little bit, and hopefully they add a bit more color to the map, because looking at the gameplay here, just once again, everything in this town is gray or white for the most part. Like, it's just so devoid of color and personality, and hopefully that's something that they have completely overhauled when it comes to that map. And speaking of overhauls, here we have the HUD update, which they've teased previously, but now we get to see what it looks like. What we're looking at right now is the original HUD that was at Call of Duty Next, as well as what was initially revealed to us by Treyarch. Doesn't look anything like zombies really to me. It doesn't look great whatsoever. Well, here's the updated version. It's a bit better, but again, it's not amazing. Adding a character portrait is nice, and some things got moved around, but this really doesn't scream zombies to me as much as it seems like an adaptation of Warzone. Now, they did say that they're going to be adding visibility sliders to the game to allow players to change what they see and what they don't see in zombies. For example, you can completely remove some things like the score feed and medals and notifications. You can choose whether or not to have a minimap and how bright that minimap is going to be, and a whole bunch of other things as well, which is good. They definitely need to do that, because what we saw at Call of Duty Next just really felt like Warzone, the zombies game, which we just got in Modern Warfare 3 essentially with their open world zombies. It will be interesting, I suppose, to see how all this plays out, but we got a bunch of other information, so let's go ahead and talk about that next. Loadouts are returning. There's still no word on the possibility of classic zombies being added to Black Ops 6, but apparently that might be something for COD 2025. Yeah, we're hearing about COD 2025 already, for crying out loud. Expect another video on that here in the very near future. But when it comes to Black Ops 6, we have a gun, we have a dedicated melee slot, we then have a field upgrade, tactical, lethal, and gobblegums. Pretty standard. Lots of fans want to go back to just starting off with nothing but your pistol, but here you can still do that, or you can choose to use a primary weapon. It just really depends on what you want to do. Speaking of the gobblegums I just talked about, here's going to be a full list of what we can see in Black Ops 6, and Activision has confirmed that these gums will be purchasable from the in-game store, while also being able to be earned from playing the game. So yeah, gobblegums are back, and there's a full list right there. And when it comes to the different aspects of zombies, here we have all the perks that are going to be in the game at launch. RIP double tap root beer, but maybe that's something they're going to add in the future, or maybe it's just being retired. I really don't know. And then on top of that, we also got to look at the operator selection screen, as well as the new augment system and how all of that is going to work. When it comes to the character selection screen, it's a lot like what we saw in previous years, where you can just play as any operator in the game, but if you choose to play a zombies character, it says you get an enhanced story experience and unique content. I feel like most people are probably just going to pick a zombies character to play, given the nature of the mode, but for some people who are just messing around or grinding camos or doing whatever, they can choose to be whichever operator they choose, which I suppose is a good thing overall. Now, when it comes to the augments, this system is really interesting to me because it seems like an expansion of the progression systems that we had back during Black Ops Cold War. Of the 8 perks that we're going to have in this game at launch, there are going to be 6 augments for each one of them for you to unlock and use. Doing this is going to change how strong the perk is and give you that sense of increasing power the more you play zombies. The example they gave here, of course, would be Juggernog, and the 6 augments are: deal bonus damage while health is low, have a slight increase to your max health, armor plates now have more damage mitigation, armor completely absorbs all damage from behind, armor plates have increased durability, and finally, when your armor breaks, nearby normal zombies will be stunned for a short period of time. Each of the 8 perks in the game will have their own augments unique to that perk, and the same is also going to be true of all the field upgrades and ammo mods, which you're seeing that on your screen right here. Now, another example they gave for the augment system is going to be the energy mine, which I actually think is pretty neat, because once you get to the 4th augment on the energy mine, you can then throw it down and have it work as a turret instead of a mine. So they're definitely going to be changing up how things work with these different augments, and it will be interesting to see if they add more augments to the game later on, not just for new perks and new field upgrades and things like that, but maybe expanding upon the previous augments that came out when the game launched. It will be interesting to see what they do when it comes to that, because this is basically essentially just another form of progression in zombies, which I like quite a bit, because while you're leveling up your guns, doing your camo challenges, leveling yourself through prestiges, and learning the zombies maps, you're also going to be working towards unlocking more gobblegums and increasing the power of your perks, your field upgrades, and your ammo mods. So overall, this does seem like a pretty good thing. And ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it for the zombies news that came out today in regards to Black Ops 6. Again, there's some stuff for COD 2025. I'm going to be dedicating that to a separate video. Long story short, Liberty Falls has gone through a number of changes. They are updating the HUD to make that a bit better, and then they're just essentially revealing to us how the game is going to work when it comes to your augments, when it comes to your loadouts, your gobblegums, revealing all the different pieces of equipment and stuff like that we have in the game. That was pretty much the focus of their blog post, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about all this down there in the comments. This seemed like a pretty positive update here today, but I do think a lot of fans are kind of upset that Liberty Falls looks like a soulless gray map with not really a lot happening in it. You know, I'm curious to see how the reception of the map is going to be when everybody gets their hands on it. Of course, we've seen teasers, we've seen trailers, we've watched gameplay at COD Next, but it's when the actual community gets their hands on the map, that's when we can see what that real feedback is going to be like. So it's going to be interesting, but for right now, that's it for this video here today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.